I'm so excited to share with you some great news. So I'm celebrating 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Hey guys, this is Leah. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Pen to Paper. Today I want to just celebrate a little bit with you my 100 subscriber count. First of all, I want to give a huge thank you to all of you who have supported me from the beginning of this journey, and if you didn't and you came in later, that's great too. I am so thankful for all your subscribes, your likes, your comments. I love chatting with you guys about books and writing, and there's just so much common ground, and you all are such a wonderful group of people, and I want to support you in your ventures. So I just, please, from the bottom of my heart, know that I really appreciate all of you and your hearts and your ventures. I'm just so full of appreciation for all of you right now. So in honor of this amazing goal that I've set for myself and hit, I would like to do a giveaway. The book is, let me get it, The Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I actually read this one back in April. It is the hardcover edition. All right, nice, beautiful orange. And if you want this one for free, shipping included, you don't have to pay a thing. You obviously have to be comfortable giving me your email so I can get your full address from you. You have to be 18 years and over, so I can ship this to you wherever you live. So in order to enter this giveaway, you need to do two different things. You need to subscribe to this channel if you are not already, like this video. Sorry, three different things. Subscribe, like, and the third thing I want you to do is comment down below who is your favorite female strong character. I'm asking you this because I'm actually filming this a day or two after International Women's Day, and also this book particularly features Nesrin, which is, I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot the main character's name in the first trilogy, because this is her sister. It's not even Nesrin. It's Nesta. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this is crazy. I'm sure I would find the sister's name in here somewhere. Anyways, if you're familiar with the Court of Thorns and Roses series, you know the main character. This is going to be bugging me now. I'm kind of just getting over from being under the weather and not getting enough sleep. I'm going to be fixing that. So yes, if you are interested in this book, let me know who is your favorite strong female character, and perhaps even why you enjoy their character. And yeah, so let me know. That would be great. One of my favorite characters who I really enjoy, or that I really enjoy reading, is Anne from Persuasion, because although she was persuaded by family and friends to drop the love of her life early on in her years, she gets a second chance at love, and she decides that she's going to make her decisions and judgments based on who she is alone and what she really wants. And I just found that that second chance redemption was a great canvas for her to show her strength of character. So, and Persuasion is one of my all-time favorite novels from Jane Austen, who is an amazing female author. If you've never read her, you gotta read Pride and Prejudice, obviously, but Persuasion is, so far, in my opinion, the best book that I've read. I haven't read all of them. I'm gonna remedy that. I will. But today I'm here to talk to you about the books that I read in February. I know it's a little late, coming out to you in March, but I'm excited to share with you guys the books I read. They weren't that much, but it's something. That's okay. We don't all have to read 8 books in a month. It's It's amazing if I can even get 5 in. So the first book that I read was Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Yes, it's kind of it looks like a boring leather book. I love leather and then the gold leaf on the edge, the border. It's gorgeous. It's actually got 5 of her novels in here, but I just read Death on the Nile because the movie's out and I really, really, really want to see the movie. I'm super excited to see it. Death on the Nile is about an heiress. You see, I even forgot her name too, which is really sad. I'm forgetting all these names. And not only do you have Hercule Poirot, who is Agatha Christie's beloved detective, but you also have Colonel Race, which he was in the last Agatha Christie book that I read in January, which was, I can't even remember the title. But the heiress here, she marries a man who is not rich. This is really embarrassing, guys. I am so sorry. She marries actually her best friend's fiance. And so very early on in the novel, you know that there's a grudge going on. There's already someone against the heiress and her fiance. I'm really just trying to scan the lines here because it'd be nice to give you an actual name, wouldn't it? But I might be doing this. I'm not catching it. So we're going to skip it. So the heiress is out on her honeymoon on the Nile with her husband, with this ex-jilted lover, and a few hosts of characters. And they're all very colorful. Agatha Christie is a master at bringing characters to life, giving them the dialogue and the actions that go perfectly hand in hand with what she's trying to convey about her characters. I gave this a 5-star. So as they are on the Nile for their honeymoon, of course, there is murder and mayhem, and then there's a second murder, and Hercule Poirot is out to find out who has murdered the victim. And I won't say who the victim is because I don't want to spoil it. I really enjoyed actually seeing Hercule Poirot's more sensitive side in this story. The only other novel that I've read with him in it was The Murder on the Orient Express, and I didn't quite see this side of him in that novel. And this side really promoted his sense of mercy and his sense of wanting each character to have their happy ending, and even facilitating tragedy slash a way out of misery type of ending. So he definitely had a lot deeper levels in this book that really surprised me. And the rest of the characters were spot on. The plot and the intrigue was not too lighthearted, and yet there were some moments of levity. It was, for me, in all, a perfect Agatha Christie novel. So that's why I'm giving it 5 stars. The other books that I finished this month were Legendborn by Tracy Deonn, and that I read as an ebook, so I can't show it to you. It is basically about the main character, Bree. She goes to early college, and she goes to this college because her mother didn't want her to go, and she decides she's going to go anyways. And her mother ends up in an accident and dies, but she is starting to piece together memories that are not quite making sense. Things that are not real, that seem magical. And when she gets to this early college, her first night out, her and her friend go to this place where the students are not allowed to go, but they kind of go there on a dare and for fun. And then again, she starts to see these magical things that no one else is seeing, except for 2 mysterious kids, students. They're not kids, they're college students. And then she gets her memory wiped, and then that leads her onto a quest of what is going on, how come she's able to see this magic, And this ties into the death of her mother and her heritage and where she belongs in this world of social elitists who are Caucasian. Yes, the main character is Black, African American, and there was quite a bit of heavy thematic content relating to that, colonialism, how Black African Americans integrate their lives into Caucasian societies and society in general today, and what that would look like for a student on college campus. So at times it seemed heavy-handed, but it served the story well, and I did appreciate being told that. Maybe it just seemed heavy-handed because you don't read novels like this where they address those issues. So I appreciated that for sure. I enjoyed the magical elements. Also, this ties in with Arthurian legends and kind of the author's take on those and how that would translate into modern day fantasy. So that was very interesting. Overall, I give this a 5 stars. One thing that I was a little stumped on, yes, there is romance. It's YA fantasy. Of course, you're going to get some. And there are 2 different ships. My thing is, usually when I read books like this, I know which ship I'm pretty much on, like pretty much in the beginning of the book or middle of the book, I know what ship I'm sailing on, and I'm going to die with that ship till the end of the trilogy or series or whatever. I've done that with every YA series. And this one, I seriously just cannot make up my mind. It's so difficult because she makes the good guy so warm and kind and good, overall good. His name is Nick. And seriously, the whole time I was reading him, I was thinking of Riley from Buffy the Vampire Slayer playing this role. He would be perfect. And then there's, so he's actually supposed to be, the spirit of King Arthur is supposed to be called through him when there's all out war with this other spiritual dimension, evil forces, blah, blah, blah. And then we have the other character whose name is Selwyn, and he's the king's mage. So he has the spirit of Merlin within him, and you find out something very interesting about his line and how that works and how he's actually sworn to protect Nick. And he's obviously the dark, brooding character, which I'm always drawn to. Always. No questions asked. But I just don't know which one to pick. So when I read the second one, it's going to have to determine which ship I'm on. But I am torn, just like the protagonist was torn. And the author did an amazing job of tearing you. I don't know. Anyways, that was Legendborn, 5 stars. And then I also read the Jane Austen book club. The Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. It's about a group of It's about a group of people before, I believe it's before World War II, throughout World War II, after World War II, that era. And it's about how they all have an extreme love for Jane Austen and her works, and how their lives intertwine through her works and their love for her works. And they set up this Jane Austen Society. They gain access to the house that she grew up in, and then it's just their lives and how they connect. And it was really interesting because when I was reading this book, I felt that it could have been written by Jane Austen herself in a modern day time period. Natalie Jenner did an amazing job of bringing that spirit of Austen through family and love and friendship, and kind of recreated that to pay homage to Jane Austen herself. So if you love everything Jane Austen, read this book. It is so good. 5 stars. And my last read, okay, so technically I only finished this like earlier this week, and that's why I didn't get a lot of sleep. But it was The 5 Little Indians by Michelle Good. And this book tackles the issue of residential schools in Canada and how Indian children were ripped away from their parents and were shipped off to these schools, either Anglican or Catholic, and were looked after by brothers and sisters who really, many of them, treated them like trash and did not care for their physical well-being or their spiritual well-being or emotional well-being, and instead completely broke them so that even when they did escape and leave and have somewhat of a life when they were adults, they were broken. And this book chronicles 5 different Indians who were at the school together, and some escape and they live life, and then their lives interconnect as well. It was a good picture of how that situation breaks you, and even though you come out of it, you're still somewhat shattered inside. And it was heart-wrenching. The only thing I would say about this, I'm giving it 4 stars. The subject matter was excellent and very timely, and we all need to know what happened to these people, because although this is a fictional tale, these things actually happened. And one of the characters, Lily, is actually based on the author's mother's friend who died in the residential school, and it talks about how they took care of that death. So even though the subject matter was strong, I felt that the writing was somewhat choppy at times, and although the actual thematic element was heavy, the characters themselves didn't quite feel fully fleshed out. Sometimes they felt a little flat. So that's why I'm giving it 4 stars. But if you want to understand more of what happened to those Indians in residential schools, I should say Indigenous in residential schools, then this is a very good read. It was actually one of CBC's Canada Reads. So that is what I read in February. And I'm going to share a little bit of what I'm reading in March. Something that I started in February that I'm going to finish off either tonight or tomorrow is Condi, the Condoleezza Rice story. She was the National Security Advisor to George W. Bush in his administration. So far, her background and how her parents raised her is fascinating. She is obviously a woman who is very strong in character, and I look forward to seeing how that played out in the politics that she was involved in. And then for this month, I am reading, I will start with the ones that I don't have books for. So right now, as an ebook, I'm reading The Dead Inside. It's a collection of short stories edited by Laurel Hightower, and I said that I would like to get an e-arc, and she kindly sent me one, so I'm going through that right now to write up a review for her, and I will review it next month. Then I'm reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein because Brad Proctor is doing a read-along with this book this month. And I'm excited. I've read Dracula, but I've never read Frankenstein. And I did see the movie about Mary Shelley's life. So now I'm very intrigued to see what Frankenstein is all about. Then, Codex Cantina is going through War and Peace. And I'm doing it too. I mean, look at this, guys. Okay? It's huge. It's 1,500 pages. The dust. So I'm giving myself 2 weeks for this, maybe 10 days. So we'll see. Maybe just 100 pages a day. I'm really excited though. I've never read Leo Tolstoy. I think I read maybe some short stories. I hope that's him. Maybe it's Dostoevsky. And I'm really looking forward to that. One that I said I would read last month, but I didn't get around to it, was Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. So this is actually one of the, Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative, it's one of her favorites. So I'm excited to get into this because I want to see the movie for this, but I really, really want to read the book first before I watch the movie. And my last announcement is that, dun, 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 drum roll please. Okay, Jay from The World According to Jay and I have started a new book club, and it's going to be called On the Same Page with Leah and Jay. And basically, we are going to be reading literary fiction or classic books once a month. And then once we buddy read it together, we're going to have a live show and discuss it. And we want to invite you guys to join us every month. So this month we are reading, one of the books I'm reading right now is called The Heavenly Table by Donald Ray Pollock. So far, I'm about 4 to 5 chapters in, and the writing is extremely strong. Very visceral. I feel like I'm there. He has 2 sets of families characters, and I'm interested to see how they're going to intertwine. It's very heavy on the misery and poverty of these 2 families and how they've come to that point so far in their lives. So I'm interested to see, where's the story going to go? How do they connect? I'm sure there's a rhyme and reason to it. And as I said, the writing is excellent. So if you guys want to join us to see if you're on the same page with us in terms of your thoughts, and to see if Jay and I are on the same page when it comes to our thoughts on the book, why don't you join us? We don't have a date set for our live show, but I will definitely let you know when that will be. So I'm excited. There's lots of great things happening. Thank you again, guys, for joining me today. Again, if you want the giveaway, the free book, I'm not going to grab it because it's under my stack of books, but it is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. And so you're going to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and then comment down below who is one of your favorite strong female protagonists or characters. It could be a side character too. And that is it. So I'm going to check out, and I'll see you next week for an AuthorTube video.